The cashier tried not to stare, but it was hard not to notice the woman standing in front of her. Thin jacket in winter, tired eyes, and a baby wrapped tightly against her chest in a faded blue blanket. The woman placed a single item on the counter: baby formula. Her hands trembled as she pushed the receipt forward. I, I need to return this, she whispered. The cashier glanced at the baby. The child couldn't have been more than 4 months old. His cheeks were pale, his lips dry. I'm sorry, the cashier said gently. Do you have the card you paid with? The woman shook her head. I paid cash. The cashier hesitated. Store policy didn't allow cash returns without the original receipt. But the woman had one. Crumpled, folded a dozen times. Still, the baby formula was already opened. I can only refund part of it, the cashier said quietly. The woman swallowed hard. That's okay, she replied. Her voice cracked. My baby. He hasn't eaten since last night. I just need enough money to buy bread. Behind her, a man stood silently in line. He was tall, expensive coat, polished shoes, a face that looked calm but distant. His name was Daniel Carter, CFO of a multi-million-dollar tech company. And he hadn't smiled in years. Daniel had come to the store to buy bottled water. Nothing more. He almost left when he saw the line, but then he heard her voice. Soft. Broken. He noticed the baby first. Too still. Too quiet. He listened as the cashier explained the partial refund. He watched the woman nod like she deserved it. He saw her wipe tears with the corner of her sleeve. Something in his chest tightened. He didn't understand why. He had numbers to think about. Board meetings, stocks, profits. He didn't have time for emotions. Yet his feet stayed frozen. The woman received a few dollars, not enough for formula, barely enough for bread. She turned to leave. That's when the baby started crying. A weak cry. The kind that sounded tired, not loud. The woman panicked. She rocked him gently. It's okay. Mama's here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Her words broke apart. Daniel felt something inside him crack. He stepped forward. Excuse me. The woman turned. Fear flashed in her eyes like she expected trouble. Yes? He struggled to find words. I'll buy the formula. Her eyes widened. No, she said quickly. I can't. It's okay, he said softly. Please. Tears filled her eyes. You don't understand, she whispered. People don't help for free. Daniel didn't answer. He walked to the shelf, picked the largest container of formula, then another. Diapers, baby wipes, a warm blanket. He paid, and handed her the bags. Her hands shook as she took them. Why? She asked. Daniel opened his mouth, then closed it again. I don't know, he said honestly. She hugged her baby tighter. My name is Lily, she said. He nodded. Daniel. She hesitated, then whispered, You saved my son today. Daniel didn't know what to say, so he just nodded again and watched her leave. That night, Daniel sat alone in his penthouse apartment. City lights reflected in the glass walls. The place was beautiful and empty. He poured a drink, but didn't touch it. He couldn't stop thinking about the baby, about the way Lily said thank you, about the sound of hunger in that tiny cry. He hadn't felt anything like that in years. Not since his wife died, not since the hospital room went silent, not since his daughter never cried again. He closed his eyes, and the memory returned. Small hands, hospital machines, a nurse whispering, I'm sorry. Daniel hadn't held a baby since that day. 3 days later, Daniel returned to the store. Same time, same cashier. She comes here every Thursday, the cashier said when Daniel asked about her. She lives nearby. Cheap motel down the street. Daniel nodded. On Thursday, he waited. Lily arrived, same jacket, same tired eyes, same baby. She froze when she saw him. You don't have to, she started. I wasn't following you, he said quickly. I just wanted to check on him. She looked down at her son. He's better, she said. Because of you. They sat on a bench outside. Lily told him everything. Her husband died in a car accident, no family left, medical bills, eviction, shelters full. The motel charged weekly. She worked the nights cleaning offices, but childcare cost more than she earned. Some nights she skipped meals. Some days, the baby barely ate. I tried to be strong, she whispered, but sometimes I'm so tired. Daniel listened, and for the first time in years, he didn't feel numb. He felt angry, not at her, at a world that made mothers choose between food and formula. That night, he made a decision, one he hadn't planned, one that terrified him. 2 weeks later, Daniel stood in front of Lily's motel room. She opened the door cautiously. Yes? I have something to show you, he said. She hesitated, then nodded. He drove her to a small house, white walls, tiny garden, nothing fancy, but clean, warm, safe. I bought it, he said quietly. Lily's eyes widened. No, I can't accept this. It's not charity, Daniel said. It's rent-free, for 1 year. She shook her head violently. I can't repay you. You don't need to, he replied. She began to cry. Hard, ugly, grateful tears. My baby deserves better, she sobbed. So do you, Daniel said. She hugged him. And for the first time in years, Daniel hugged someone back. Months passed. Lily found a job at a daycare. Free childcare included. Her baby Noah learned to laugh, to crawl, to say da, da, even though Daniel wasn't his father. But he visited every week, sometimes just to sit on the floor, and let Noah pull his fingers. One day Noah reached for him. Daniel froze. His chest tightened. He picked the baby up, carefully like glass, and cried. Not from pain, but from healing. One evening, Lily noticed something strange. Daniel looked tired, different. She asked him. He smiled weakly. Doctor visits. She pressed him. He finally said it. Heart condition. Congenital. Worsening. I might need surgery. Her heart dropped. You saved us, she said. You can't leave. Daniel smiled sadly. Life doesn't make deals. That night, Lily prayed for the first time in years. The surgery was risky. Daniel survived. Barely. When he woke up, the first thing he saw was Lily, holding Noah. You came, he whispered. Your family, she replied. Noah reached out, touched his face. Daniel smiled. Tears rolled into the pillow. Years later, Noah ran into kindergarten, healthy, happy. Lily stood beside Daniel at the school gate. You never told him what you did for us, she said. Daniel shook his head. It's not about being remembered. She smiled. It's about being human. He nodded. And for the first time in his life, he felt rich. Not because of money, but because a starving baby once cried in a store and reminded a broken man how to love again.